Days of Our Lives spoilers. Susan Banks could hold the key to Johnny's freedom. Days of Our Lives spoilers display that Susan Banks, Stacey Hayduke, ought to preserve the important thing to Johnny Demers, Carson Boatman, freedom. Will Susan and her incredibly wacky visions result in clearing Johnny's call with the aid of stating who the actual killer is? Will Susan clean Johnny's call earlier than Demera? Dan Furigal recalls the truth. Johnny Demera did not shoot his father. It has already been found out to lovers that Johnny didn't shoot his father. Evidence, despite the fact that fake, has additionally been observed that factors the finger at Chanel Demera, Raven Bowens. Fans recognize that Chanel could by no means allow Johnny take the autumn for something she did. Unfortunately, Belle Black, Martha Madison, refuses to drop the costs in opposition to Johnny. Chanel is aware of that she didn't say half of what's on that reminiscence card that grew to become over for proof. Unfortunately, nobody appears to be seeking to see if that card is fake. Each had that proof fabricated to attempt to get Chanel arrested. Since this didn't work, possibly Susan will choose upon her visions and determine this out. Susan Banks pick up on vibes from Johnny Demera. Susan picked up on something with Johnny that remaining time she visited Salem. Of course. On the time, Johnny desired his father useless due to what he has learned. Now that lovers recognize that Johnny is innocent, possibly Susan will choose up on that connection that brought about a person else. The use of Roman Brady's, Josh Taylor, gun to shootage. Susan ought to genuinely contact a person and get imaginative and prescient of what they've done. What if Susan takes place to the touch Rachel Black, Alice Halsey, and get a Eisner for pulling the trigger? It became leaked weeks in the past that Rachel became the responsible party. Will Susan be the character to expose this because the truth? Is Rachel definitely the person that shot Hitch? Susan Banks is determined to help her son. Susan has been decided to assist Hitch from the time she observed out he became shot. However, Susan lower back domestic to her husband weeks in the past. Now that the trial has started and her grandson, Johnny, is the only accused, Susan will genuinely go back to Salem to assist store him. Can Susan discover the proof she desires to show Johnny's innocence? Susan won't recognize what to consider a younger infant being the could-be killer. However, so long as Susan tells what she sees, perhaps she will be able to at the least factor the police with inside the proper direction. Will Susan be the only who offers sufficient affordable doubt to loose Johnny? Will Rachel must solution for her component with inside the crime?